Here we go. Welcome YouTube to the fast food tier list requested by Shellshock Prime. I'm ready to get started. We have nice 70, count 'em, 70 fast food places. I always like to start off fast and strong, so let's go with a definite S tier to start with. So Popeye's chicken. Popeye's chicken is absolutely phenomenal. I don't know who you're going to talk to that says it's not good, but it's absolutely phenomenal. The chicken itself, best fried chicken you can get, fast food wise. The Cajun fries are absolutely delicious. The biscuits are pretty damn good too, but man, does the chicken and the Cajun fries just send me on a whole nother level. Hey CTK, welcome to the fast food tier list tonight. Popeye's chicken, absolute S tier. I am always on cloud 9 when I eat Popeye's chicken. I've always loved it, always will. Again, unfortunately, all this stuff isn't healthy for you, but man, if eating Popeye's chicken infinitely didn't kill you, I would do so. S tier. All right, might have to start cleaning out a couple. Surprisingly, I've never really been to Arby's. Over on the Jersey side of things, it's not any like... Oh, there was one Arby's one town over, but I never went to it, but it closed down. But as it stands now, there's no actually really good or convenient location for me to go to Arby's. I've actually never really been. Alrighty. Let's just cross a few others, like one I've never heard of. I've never heard of Hungry Howie's. Flavored pizza, crust pizza, never had. Whataburger I've heard of, never had. Zaxby's, I've seen this logo before, never had. But don't worry, a lot of the stuff I have had. Cheddar's Scratch Kitchen didn't have, but we'll move on to something I did have now. Auntie Anne's Pretzels. What an interesting establishment to move on to. Auntie Anne's Pretzels. I see them in the mall all the time. I've only had them a handful of times. Oh Jesus, they're okay. I'm not like popping out of my seat for them. I'd be like maybe bottom of B tier, or maybe top. Also, we have to do something else. I usually like my F tier to be garbage and colored gray. There we go. You enjoy Auntie Anne's? You love them? Okay. Auntie Anne's is usually paired with cinnamon. It is. Alright, I'll give it, to be honest, it's been forever since I had Auntie Anne's. I'll give it bottom of B. Again, I don't usually really go out of my way for it. I'll give it bottom of B, though. I don't remember not liking it. Lilo's Barbecue, I do not recall that. Long John Silver's, I think there's one a few towns away from me. I think. Never had. Pollo Loco, never had. Texas Roadhouse, didn't have. I've had Outback though. You know what? Let's move on to Outback then. Okay. Oh, fucking music. All right, Outback Steakhouse. Outback Steakhouse, boy. This is either going to be a really high A or a low S for me. Outback Steakhouse is absolutely phenomenal. It's been 6 years since I've been to one, but boy is their signature bloomin' onion fucking delicious. It is fucking delicious. You go to Outback Steakhouse for the bloomin' onion, and man, it is worth the trip. It's almost like you go to Red Lobster for the cheddar biscuit. It's always that one thing that has it. Also, shout out! I remember last time I went there, they had like a watermelon alcoholic beverage called a Wagon Wheel. Shout out to that too. That was pretty good too. But of course, the bloomin' onion, man, it's absolutely delicious. Alrighty, moving on. Bob Evans, I haven't had either. And Tim Hortons, as much as Mystic Ninja talks about Tim Hortons, I've never been to a Tim Hortons. I know we have a couple in New York, but I know this is a Canadian thing. I've never had though. But don't worry, a lot of this stuff I have. So we're gonna start actually moving on to stuff I have. Oh boy, this is... I have to think about what to do with this. And also we have the big three, McDonald's, BK, and Wendy's. That's gonna be a fight and a half, isn't it? Let's move on to Checkers. Checkers gets like upper B for me. Admittingly, I haven't had Checkers Admittingly, I've never had Checkers in a long... Or I haven't had Checkers in a long time. There used to be a Checkers right near William Patterson College in New Jersey. And I would go there every now and then. I remember Checkers having a really good chocolate shake. Their fries are pretty good. Their bacon burger was pretty decent. Again, it's a solid B from me. I remember it being good. Checkers is aight. But unfortunately, since Checkers is where I am currently, Checkers isn't in a convenient location, so... You know what? Speaking of things that went under, here's what I'll rate next. Ruby Tuesdays. I know you can't see the Tuesday because of the black type. It kind of sucks, but I recognize it. Ruby Tuesdays. Ruby Tuesdays gets a low S from me. Ruby Tuesdays is a restaurant that was once in the Garden State Plaza in Paramus Mall, which is the local mall I would go to all the time. Ruby Tuesdays was a fantastic restaurant. I say was because I think they died during COVID, unfortunately. Their restaurant was closed in the mall, and I've looked them up, and I think they went bankrupt. Ruby Tuesdays was a fantastic restaurant. They had a really good salad bar. My mom and I loved that place. Whenever my mom would take me shopping as a kid or teenager, we'd eat there all the time. They had good nachos. They had good burgers. My parents loved that restaurant, and I did too. It was absolutely fantastic. Had good, like, strawberry lemonade, like, you name it. You can get a good-ass meal there. I would always look forward to going to the mall, not only just to stop into GameStop and look at the video games, but when my parents felt like going to Ruby Tuesdays, that was quite the treat. Oh, wait a minute. The Krusty Krab? Is this actually making a joke about the actual, like, Nickelodeon, like, theme park eating establishment? I've never been to one of the Nickelodeon theme parks, unfortunately. I've had a friend mention Hardee's before, like a friend who lives out Midwest. I never had Hardee's, though. I haven't had Crystal either. I haven't had Waffle House either, but let's move on to something I have had. Good old Chipotle. Chipotle gets a nice high A from me. Chipotle is nice and convenient, and they have great burritos, and you can get the burrito as a bowl with a tortilla on the side. Chipotle takes time to learn the, if I may say, the meta. It takes time to learn the meta of Chipotle. The meta of Chipotle is getting a burrito bowl with extra rice and beans, which doesn't cost extra, and having a tortilla on the side. They give you so much extra rice and beans, it almost makes a second burrito out of itself. But you still pay the price of just one burrito, but then you have the whole bowl extra to eat. Me and my old homies went to Chipotle so many times, we have the restaurant down to a science. And even then, it's still very good. Moving on. I haven't had Del Taco. Little Caesars Pizza. Boy, is it hot and ready, and boy, is it top of C tier. The Little Caesars is interesting. There used to be a handful of locations around my hometown area. Not in my hometown, but just a town over. I could get it pretty easily if I wanted to. They were unfortunately right next to a Domino's, and let's just say Domino's is a lot better. Little Caesars Pizza, when I tried their special, like, bacon, or their special, like, stuffed crust pizza, or, like, the $5 cheap shit, you get what you pay for, as my parents would always say. It was hot and ready, but man, was it tasting like a C-tier pizza. It was a little greasy, the flavor wasn't all there, the bread was a little on the cheap side. I mean, yeah, it was hot and ready, and it filled me for a meal for $5, but boy, I'd have to really feel like a cheap son of a bitch that day to get Little Caesars Pizza. It's also how you feel about White Castle. Well, alright, let's jump right onto that springboard, shall we? White Castle, where is it? White Castle gets a very high B from me. I last had White Castle a few years ago. Well, actually in New York, go figure. And White Castle's... how do I describe this? White Castle, you have to be in its signature crave mood. White Castle makes for a pretty good meal. Their jalapeno cheeseburger sliders are pretty good. I can imagine not liking White Castle that much or thinking it's lackluster if you just get the normal sliders, but if you're a fan of jalapenos and cheeseburgers and you get the cheeseburger jalapeno slider all in one thing, it's pretty good. It's some quick sliders, which are greasy and yummy and cravey and all that. Honestly, I love White Castle. I like the burger. Okay, there we go. So I end up in the middle of you and Shell Shock Prime. I'll give White Castle a high B. And I'm never disappointed in there, and And yeah, when I crave the burgers, I crave the burgers. Boy, can I destroy a fucking crave case of burgers. They don't call me MattBigFat for nothing. Marco's Pizza I've never had. Cracker Barrel I've never had. There are Cracker Barrels a few towns away. I've never had them. Jack in the Box I've never had. But let's talk about our first... let's talk about a very interesting restaurant, Ihop here. Ihop is very interesting. Because I've eaten a slew of things from IHOP. I've, of course, had their pancakes, what they're known for. But I've also had their other meals, too, that aren't, like, pancakes or breakfast. They also make a really good poblano pepper omelet, which I had when me and CJ go there after the drunk streams. Oh, back to... I was describing IHOP. So, IHOP... I was gonna say, their food is interesting. This may sound a little off-kilter, but they make really good quesadillas. I know that I've had dinner there a couple times in like the afternoon, and they make pretty good quesadillas. I'm not gonna lie. Their chicken and waffles is also really good too. IHOP is very interesting. They don't do anything like absolute. I'm gonna give IHOP a low A. Their meals won't send my entire emotions on a trip, but they do everything really, really solidly good. Of course, pancakes, what they're known for, are fucking phenomenal. Of course, and breakfast, and other breakfast stuff like omelets. But real talk, their dinner options aren't half bad, especially their quesadillas, actually. There's a Taco Bell here in Australia, too. Alrighty, well, let's jump right into Taco Bell, shall we? It's almost like you're influenced what I rate next. Taco Bell. Boy, Taco Bell. What to say about Taco Bell? Me and my old homies used to eat there a lot, because it wasn't a convenient location. You can get a good amount of food for a decent price too. For $8, you can get the $5 box and two crunch. No, not crunch wraps. Cruncheritos. I forget what they're called. The crunchy taco. No, not like the shell, but like the soft taco with the inner hard shell. Crunch wraps or something. I fucking forget. But anyway, yeah. Taco Bell. So people make jokes about having low food opinions of Taco Bell. I understand. I don't know. Taco Bell's probably going to get a... Boy, do I rate ahead of White Castle? No, I don't. Because White Castle sliders are fucking White Castle sliders. But... you know, as the person who eats almost anything, MattBigFat, Taco Bell's not bad. It's there. They have good shit. Their tacos are addicting, and I eat them. I'm never super disappointed. It's fine. So why don't I crack my first maybe hot take of the evening? Let me think of something. Let me show you guys something I think is disappointing. Oh boy, here we go. Panera Bread. The handful of times I've eaten at this eating establishment, I have not enjoyed it. I think Panera Bread is either not for me, or I think it's just ass. I think their overpriced ass artisan food is not great at all. It's borderline garbage in my opinion, but I still have eaten there and come out okay, so. I think Panera Bread is ass. I think their selection of menu is, it just comes across as bland. And they're so expensive too. It's like $10 for a goddamn soup. And it's like, the soup better be made of unicorn's blood, which it's not. So, fuck. It's not, so I end up overpaying for bland food. Like, I remember eating there a few times with my mom. Like, I haven't eaten in Panera Bread in like 10 years, but I do distinctly remember that the handful of times I've eaten there, I've just not enjoyed it. I don't know what to order. It's too expensive, and it never fulfills me. The portions are too small. I mean, I know I'm a big guy, but the portions are too small. It sucks. I hate it. I've never vibed with Panera Bread. I'm gonna be honest. I just don't. I just don't enjoy eating there. Like I said, I don't know what to order. Their food never fills me up, and I overpay. My wallet's dry heaving from pain. You know what? We were just talking about Domino's. Let's give Domino's the rightful spot it deserves. Domino's gets bottom of S. Domino's is absolutely fantastic. Domino's Pizza used to not be great back in the day. I remember eating Domino's Pizza in my high school days in the late 2000s. They weren't great. I remember them not having a good pizza culinary recipe. But something changed in the mid 2010s, like 2015 onwards. What do we call this decade? The aughts or something? The mid 20 aughts. Whatever they changed was fantastic. Me and my homies would eat Domino's all the time starting from 2015 onward. Their pizza's really good, especially their pineapple pizza, which I'm a fan of as my pizza topping tier list. Their bacon jalapeno cheesy bread is delicious. I always get the the double $5.99 deal. I always get a medium pizza, usually pineapple and pepperoni and a cheesy bread also. And a bacon jalapeno cheesy bread. That's my go-to Domino's order. I would eat it any day of the week. It's absolutely delicious. So yeah, well, you know what? Let me jump onto that point of contention. Burger King. I agree with Destiny Decade. Burger King can get at least lower A for me. So here's the first of the three giant fast food chains: McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's. Here's my stance on them. Burger King, I think, is hella overhated. Their burgers are just fine. People like to shit on them for no good reason. And you know what else is great about them? They have fantastic coupon deals. I get so much food for like $7 to $8 I can eat for 2 meals. My go-to Burger King order is using the coupon for the $4 2 Whopper Juniors and the 2 fries. Then I add on 2 $1.49 10-piece chicken nuggets on top of that. Usually the spicy nuggets. I like the spicy nuggets. That altogether equals $7.24. See, I had this down to an exact price science. That equals $7.24, and that's 2 Whopper Juniors, 2 smallish fries, and 2 orders of 10-piece chicken nuggets. That's 20 nuggets. That's all that food for $7.24. That's amazing. Burger King coupons are... I always stop by a Burger King because the coupons I have on my app always refresh, and I always get a shit ton of food, and I'm like, damn, all this food. And even price aside and the deal I get aside, I think Burger King's overrated. Their burgers are just fine. As you see now, this is how I'm starting to grade the list. It's not just food quality, it's also convenience to me and price. Yeah, I guess at a basic level I should be mostly judging food quality, which I do. But as you see, convenience to me and price and portions and how much you get for said price do matter to me. That's why I put Panera Bread down to D. That's my experience with Panera Bread. That's sort of what I'm going with this tier list. It's not just food right off the bat. Because as a 30-year-old adult who has to buy his own food, I have to think about its price too. I'm no longer a 10-year-old whose parents buy them everything. Alright, moving on. I have not had Jimmy John's. I've heard good things, but I'm not at Jimmy John's. These, pretty much, I haven't had In-N-Out. But these I'm starting to have. Panda Express. All right, here we go. We're getting down and dirty again. Panda Express gets a high C. I've had Panda Express a couple times in my life. Most recently, I've had it like 6 years ago or so. I do not enjoy Panda Express. I think their food is not worth the price they offer. They claim to be like high quality, expensive Chinese food. I think it's a load of hooey. Their General Tso's chicken is my favorite Chinese food of all time. I always test a Chinese food place's caliber by ordering their General Tso's chicken, and Panda Express's General Tso's chicken was bland as fuck. I usually just order Chinese food from local mom and pop places. Shoutouts to the one in my hometown named Emperor Hunan. Emperor Hunan, my Chinese food place, which my family's been ordering for forever, since I can remember. Shoutouts to you guys. You guys make phenomenal Chinese food. Panda Express as a chain, bland and crappy in my opinion. It can get just above Little Caesars. But anyway, yeah, that's where I stand on Panda Express. I did not have a good experience with them. Maybe one day I'll give them another try, but I'm not in a rush to go back there. From what I remember about their General Tso's quality. Again, if you fuck up General Tso's, I'm not a fan of your Chinese food establishment. And don't worry, Panda Express wasn't the only bad General Tso's I've had in my life. I remember when back when me and my homies were into Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot, there was a Chinese food place near our Yu-Gi-Oh! tournament place. I forget what their name was, but their General Tso's was also very bad. That was back in 2011. I haven't forgotten that. That General Tso's sucked too. I've had breakfast at Starbucks coffee. It hasn't been a lot. Alright, so Starbucks coffee. I'm gonna give them a low B. I'm not a super fan of Starbucks coffee. One, yeah, they make their really cool expensive coffees and shit. They're alright. It's not my first choice. I just have a coffee maker at home. I'd rather just save myself the big bucks of getting the high quality frappes and shit. I mean, it's fine. But if I were to judge them on their pastries, I've had a few like cinnamon buns and muffins from Starbucks. They were underwhelming. They can just eke their way into B tier. They were underwhelming. It's definitely not something I would go out of my way for. Yeah, I remember having cinnamon buns and muffins at Starbucks. I wasn't blown away at all, and of course it's expensive too. So my wallet's not feeling great either. Starbucks doesn't do it for me. Let's jump on to Buffalo Wild Wings. It's been a while, but I did have Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings is absolutely fantastic. I'm probably going to put them dead middle of A. Their wings are absolutely... They do exactly what they say on the tin. Their wings are absolutely phenomenal. Their spiciest flavor is also really hot and again gives me a good workout. So for those who don't know, I love spicy foods. I'm a huge fan of spicy foods. I love spicy foods. And Buffalo Wild Wings' hottest wing flavor definitely hits the mark. I always challenge myself by getting... If I go to like a wing place or something that specializes in spicy foods, I always get the spiciest thing I can order, just to test myself. Just to test the mettle of what I can handle spicy and what a restaurant considers spicy too. Oh, that's right. I think we did have that discussion before, now that I remember. Silvers, yeah. Again, love spicy foods. So yeah, and Buffalo Wild Wings, they do exactly what they say on the tin. Their wings are juicy and delicious and pleasurable to eat. Alrighty. Oh, this is staring me in the face. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna put Friendly's into never really eaten. I haven't eaten at Friendly's in forever. The last time I eaten at Friendly's was when I was 8. And I remember not enjoying it. But to be fair, that was 22 years ago. I have to reevaluate Friendly's in my more adult life. But also, Friendly's isn't really like convenient for me where I live, so even then, I'm gonna put Friendly's as never eaten. Again, 8-year-old me. I think there has to be a cutoff age where I haven't tried something in forever, so I think that's gonna be like around it. Again, I remember 8-year-old me didn't like Friendly's that much, but that was when I was 8. I haven't had it in 22 years. So it can go in the never bin. I'll have to reevaluate somewhere in my adult life. I hate to put another never have been, but I've never really had Church's Chicken before. Obviously, I've heard of it. Okay, there's two I'm going to rate next. Johnny Rockets and Longhorn Steakhouse. I'm just staring these in the face. Johnny Rockets gets a middle lowish B from me. Johnny Rockets, I've eaten there. Last time I've eaten there was, again, like 6 or so years ago. There's a Johnny Rockets smack dab in the middle of the Paramus Mall in New Jersey, in Garden State Plaza. Now, their theming is very nice. They fit the very nice 1950s diner feel. Their food, on the other hand, it was very basic. I remember just getting the basic burger, fries, and malt from them. Their malt was pretty damn good, though. But their burgers and fries, very basic tasting. Overall, I'd give the experience a mid to lowish B. Johnny Rockets is not something I would go out of my way for. Also, you have to wait because people like the atmosphere of eating at the 1950 diner location. I remember my mom and I ate there. We had to wait like a while. We had to wait like 30 minutes for the table, and even then, it was just base. It was just not. I wasn't like blown out of my mind for the burger, so it gets mid B. Anyway, I was going to grade Longhorn next. Longhorn is alright. Longhorn can probably get top of B. Well, last time I had Longhorn was, again, like 6 or so years ago. Go figure. I know I'm saying 6 years ago a lot, but I ate out a lot in 2015 because that was when I was like working like full time a lot. So I was like really feeling myself. I had some money to burn. That was when I had like my full-time construction job. I was like big boy, 23, 24-year-old. I was like really feeling myself. I was like, yeah, let's just, me and my homies would go out to eat a lot. We were like really feeling the moolah. I mean, of course, we were just, I mean, I wasn't like rich by any means, but you know, I was feeling the high from like my full-time job, getting all the income and shit, but anyway, that's why you hear me say like 6 years ago, because me and my homies just eat out a lot in 2015. 2015 was the year I like adult partied at like 24. But anyway, yeah. Last time I ate at Longhorns 6 years ago, it was all right. I think I had a steak. Their steak was, again, okay. It wasn't too different than steak I can make at home, so I wasn't like, again, blown out of my seat. They were okay. I think I had like a Long Island iced tea, and their Long Island iced tea, which is an alcoholic iced tea, was also just like, they were okay. I mean, maybe I should have tried a burger there, but it's fine. So that's tight. Do I want it that high now that I'm really thinking about it? No, it can go actually right. I'm gonna change it. It can actually go right here. Now that I'm really thinking about it, nah, it was less. Yeah, I know, crazy, but it's less than White Castle and Taco Bell. Alright, you want me to hop on the Pizza Hut next? Pizza Hut is so interesting. Their $10 box was so unique back in the day. And for a time, they were better than Domino's. They were. But then, of course, we just talked about when Domino's re-engineered their pizza recipe in the 2010s, they became fantastic. Pizza Hut never caught up the same. Their Pizza Hut's still okay. And even then, Domino's is still just a better deal price-wise. Like I said, over in Jersey, you can get the pizza and the cheesy bread for $6 each plus tax. Not counting delivery, because I usually go pick it up. But yeah, Pizza Hut, you have the $10 box, but even then, the pizza you get from Domino's and the cheesy bread is more food than that. Although I guess Pizza Hut costs like $2 less if you're really like pinching pennies here. Overall, where would I put Pizza Hut? Me and my homies did get Pizza Hut a lot back in like the late 2000s. Where out of respect do I want to put it? It's eking somewhere around B. I'll probably put it right there. I feel comfortable putting it right there. Pizza Hut's fine, but again, after Domino's really made that comeback in the mid 2010s, it's just hard to go back to Pizza Hut. Yeah, God bless Domino's, I guess. Alrighty, this is going nice and smoothly. We're getting done here. I'm gonna be honest. I've never eaten at Golden Corral, and I don't know what Beef O'Brady's is either. I have eaten at Bonefish Grill. We'll get to that. Now, as much as I like the root beer, I've never eaten at an A&W place itself. So we just cleaned up a few restaurants there I haven't eaten. Now we can start with more stuff I have eaten. Yo, why Panera? Oh boy, here we go. I knew Panera Bread was going to cause some disturbance. I was going to say Dave & Buster's. Dave & Buster's. I have eaten their food there. It's been a while, but I have. Their nachos and burger were pretty good. Now, of course, you go to Dave & Buster's for the goddamn games, but I have had their food there. It's top of B tier. Their food is fine, but honestly, their food is also very expensive for the convenience you get at eating it right there, so you definitely just want to eat before you go to Dave & Buster's, and then go to Dave & Buster's for obviously the fun and games. But the one time I did eat food there, it was actually very enjoyable, pretty decently enjoyable. So they get top of B for me. What was it? I was gonna do something next. You sort of like oh yeah. I was gonna say for Mike's birthday. I remember before the pandemic started. Well, it was right around there, but we didn't go into full chaos yet. We ate at Applebee's before we went to Dave & Buster's. Speaking of eating before you go to Dave & Buster's, we ate at Applebee's. I guess it's time to talk about my long history with Applebee's. So Applebee's is a love it or hate it sort of place, isn't it? I've heard varying opinions over in the chat too about Applebee's. They get a high A from me. So I talked about me and my homies eating a lot of restaurant food back in the day. Applebee's, the way to eat Applebee's is to go after 10 p.m. and get the half-price apps. For about $17, you can get boneless hot wings, quesadillas, and mozzarella sticks. All appetizer size for yourself. I would eat that myself, because, you know, I'm MattBigFat. I would eat that for myself. The key, the meta game to Applebee's is go after 10 p.m., get the half-priced apps. And then, to go with it, you would, since Pepsi is refillable, here's the meta to Applebee's. You would do that for the appetizers. You would order a Pepsi and ask them to add cherry mix to it, or they call it grenadine if you're using the exact terminology. You can ask for a Pepsi with cherry mixed in, so you're essentially making a free cherry Pepsi, and that's refillable for free. And Mike saw me do that when we went to Applebee's last time we ate out at that place. I told Mike the meta to Applebee's: order a Pepsi with grenadine. You can order a delicious cherry Pepsi for the price of a normal Pepsi. And then you have price apps, and then you have a delicious meal for $20. Whoa, shit! Mike, you just made me realize we have our first missing restaurant from the tier list. We don't have Fridays on here. Maybe I'll... Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll take out Friendlies and have it represent Fridays. I'll Photoshop it in there. Okay, for my video, I'll just make a disclaimer that Friendlies will represent Fridays. I'll have Friendlies represent Fridays then. I have to pull a Chibi Robo representing Metroid Prime 1 during the GameCube tier list. Honestly, I never had Friendlies, or, I'm sorry, I had Friendlies back when I was 8 years old, so I haven't judged it as an able-tasting adult. But Friendlies will represent Fridays. Anyway, that's my history with Applebee's. Applebee's, I think if you order, again, if you have a taste for the right appetizer, again, some appetizers at Applebee's suck. I think their nachos are very underwhelming, amongst other things. But their boneless hot wings, their quesadillas, and their mozzarella sticks are all good. That's $17. Pepsi with grenadine is about 19 and change. You give the server about 24 for a good tip. You just ate a fine, very, very filling Applebee's meal with a lot of food. And a delicious cherry Pepsi. That's my metagaming Applebee's. A for Applebee's, I guess. I love you, Applebee's. I haven't had I'm gonna say never eaten. I haven't had Cece's Pizza since I was like 12 or something. I think I'm gonna put that in the never eaten as like an able-bodied adult. Because Cece's Pizza sort of closed down around my area when I was like a late teenager, so I never really had it again. I haven't had Cece's Pizza since I was 12. I remember thinking it was not amazing, but I wasn't able to judge it after I was 12, so I'll just put it in didn't eat as an adult, or able-bodied adult, and list. Cece's it alright, I already had it once, and that was years ago? Yeah, okay. Oh, you know what? Sbarro's isn't on here either, isn't it? Oh shit, you're right. Maybe I'll take out a pizza place and have it represent Sbarro's, because I've actually eaten a lot of Sbarro's. I have eaten a lot of Sbarro's. It was actually on our college campus. You know what? Marco's Pizza, you can represent Sbarro's, whatever. Okay. You know what? Speaking of Sbarro's, we'll go right into that right now. Yeah, Sbarro's isn't great. Sbarro's can probably get a high C from me. Yeah, Sbarro's isn't phenomenal. I just ate it because it was quick pizza you can get on campus back when I went to college. And they took the meal plan too, so it wasn't out of pocket. Yeah, Sbarro's isn't great. It's not great. Yeah, freaking Matt 5000 saying you can't mess up pizza. Bullshit. Little Caesars and Sbarro's exist. They're cheap as fuck. They're not super appetizing. I would just eat it just to cure pizza blues or something. Even then, I'd feel regretful. Alright, so that solves Sbarro's. Let's finally solve Fridays, which is aka Friendlies, apparently. I'm gonna admit, as far as Fridays goes, I've never fully vibed with Fridays. Yeah, Mike's right, they have endless apps, but I find I know this may sound weird, but I just find them not as appetizing as Applebee's. Their spicy wings aren't as good as Applebee's, in my opinion. Because I would order the exact same thing at Fridays. I would order boneless hot wings, quesadillas, and mozzarella sticks. And I think just Applebee's does it better. I think taste-wise, Applebee's just does it better. I always vibe with them more. And at Fridays, you can't get cherry Pepsi, really. You can't do the Pepsi mixed with grenadine meta game I do. Yeah, I don't know if it's a local thing, but the Fridays around my places never really, like, super hit the spot for me. They can get upper B, because they're still fine, but... me and my homies were always Applebee's fans over Fridays. I like Applebee's far more for their entrees, but Fridays for the apps. Interesting, alright. Well... I never really had... no, real talk, I never really had any entrees at both places. We would just metagame the goddamn appetizers at both places. Even then, Applebee's has better mozzarella sticks. I agree with you there, as I just said. Alrighty, we're moving along, Denny's is next. Denny's... I'm gonna be honest. I've only eaten at Denny's a handful of times in my life. I can probably count on one hand. And all of those times were Grand Slams. The ever-famous Grand Slams. So, I haven't had a lot of different foods from Denny's. Literally just Grand Slams in my, 4 times eating there in my life. But they were good. The Grand Slams were fucking delicious. They sure knocked it out of the park, if I may make the damn pun. Yeah, but I'll give Denny's a high B. Their Grand Slam is good. Their signature meal is good, but it's the only thing I've ever had from them. So I don't know how good they do the other stuff, but it's good. That's all I can really say. Alrighty, Baskin Robbins. All right, so we're gonna do a double dose on this. This essentially comes down to good ice cream places along with I know Dairy Queen serves burgers too, which I have had. But basically, it comes down to the battle of the ice cream places. Baskin Robbins versus Dairy Queen. Where do I want to put this? I'll be honest, I've never fully vibed with Baskin Robbins as much as Dairy Queen. Baskin Robbins gets lower B for me. I've had a few of their ice creams, obviously. Nothing really, super really to write home about, in my opinion. Maybe I didn't have, their signature flavor or whatever. But Dairy Queen slaps. Where do I want to put Dairy Queen? Dairy Queen slaps. Dairy Queen ice cream, middle of A. Dairy Queen ice cream is phenomenal. You have all the Blizzard flavors. They make good lemon lime slushes. I've had banana splits from Dairy Queen. That's just talking about the ice cream. I've had burgers too from Dairy Queen. There's a Dairy Queen right in my hometown, actually. Again, just a 5-minute drive away. So I've always been on Team Dairy Queen over Baskin Robbins. Dairy Queen is I actually just went to Dairy Queen a few weeks ago to get one of their Royal Cheesecake Blizzard. It was fucking good. Oh man, was it good. Although they are expensive. They are expensive. Dairy Queen is expensive. But I've been on cloud 9 eating at Dairy Queen before. We were just talking about burgers. Why move on to good old Five Guys? So me and Five Guys go back a long way. Five Guys is absolutely phenomenal. Perfectly S-tier establishment. Five Guys, you get a lot. So Five Guys, their pricing is expensive, but with the expensive pricing, you can ask for any number of toppings you ever want on your burger. And their burgers, juicy and delicious and fresh all the time. It's honestly the best burger you could probably buy. Granted, the burger is going to be like $8, and if you want Cajun fries onto that, a big cup of Cajun fries, that's just not $5. But you also get free peanuts as much as you want. The Five Guys in New York have the free peanut crates that you can just take peanuts from as much as you want, right? That's always good too. So you basically get burgers, fries, and peanuts on the house for about $15. But again, it's eat all the peanuts you want for free. So if you're not full off the burger and fries, just eat peanuts until you're satisfied. Alrighty, well, I'm gonna be honest, I never had Carrabba's Italian Grill. This has sort of been staring me in the face a little. Bonefish Grill, I know you can barely see the black text. Bonefish Grill it's okay. I've eaten there a handful of times. Their seafood is pretty aight. Real talk, I'd probably put it above Longhorn. I haven't eaten there in like, again, probably like 6 years or something. Their food was all right. Yeah, they had like some pretty good fish and all that. And again, it was a substandard B meal. It was fine. But if we're gonna talk about fish, I guess we should talk about the other fish establishment, or the other seafood establishment, Red Lobster. Red Lobster's fucking cheddar biscuits are absolutely phenomenal. The rest of the seafood, when you're actually ready for the actual meal, the actual seafood is pretty good. I remember having some shrimp tacos and shrimp nachos there. They were pretty good. But man, Red Lobster's cheddar biscuits, oh man, they're good. Oh boy, they put you on a whole nother plane. I admit the rest of the restaurant doesn't live up to the exact caliber of the cheddar biscuits, but oh man, those cheddar biscuits are... Damn. Oh, we'll wait till you have the cheddar biscuits hot and fresh in the restaurant itself. Yo, cheddar biscuits alone freaking beat out a lot of the lower tier restaurants on this list. Just cheddar biscuits alone. If I can live off of cheddar biscuits forever, if it didn't kill me, I would do so. Just like I would live off of Popeyes forever if it didn't kill me. I would do so. Alright, we're almost done here. I admit, I kind of wanted to try this place before I did this tier list, but I forgot about it. I've never had Firehouse Subs, but there have been a few locations right nearby. There are locations of Firehouse Sub right nearby. There's no super real excuse. I've just never gotten around to trying it in my life. I hear they're good though, or I hear they're pretty good. I really wish I did try it right before this list, but I did not.
Don't worry, future Matt has your back. In between the time of editing this video, I actually did go to my local Firehouse Subs and got my first cheesesteak from them. It was pretty good, but you could probably tell from the picture it lacks a bit of cheese. They were pretty stingy on both that and the toppings, such as the onions and peppers. The finishing bites of the sandwich were nothing but meat and bread. Considering this put me back $12, I wasn't exactly blown away. Overall, I'll give Firehouse Subs a B+. I think they do have the potential to reach A, and one day in the future, I will get another cheesesteak from them. So they'll have their redemption arc one day. Take it away, past Matt.
Alright, let's rate Hooters next. So, Hooters might be in a little trouble because the Hooters one town over from me, like literally like 8 minutes away, closed down. But I've eaten at Hooters a few times with friends. Hooters gets the upper echelon of B. So Hooters has one really good appetizer, fried pickles with like their special like sort of I don't know what kind of sauce to describe it with, sort of like a creamy Thousand Island sauce. Their fried pickles are really good. The rest of the food is decent at best. The fried pickles still don't hold a candle to the cheddar biscuits, so Hooters can go right down here. You know, actually, now that I'm really thinking about it, I think I rated them too high. Hold on, I'm having regrets here. All right, let's get one point of contention out of the way. Papa John's. I agree with you. Papa John's isn't anything to write home about. A weird fucking nincompoop owner aside, ass clown owner aside, just judging on the food. I agree, they're nothing special. They don't order candle at Domino's, and even I would prefer Pizza Hut over them. The few times I did order Papa John's in the last couple of years hasn't been like anything to blow my pants off. They can honestly get right above Johnny Rockets, in my opinion. Alright, let's hop back up on the top here. Spoiler alert. Sonic is absolutely phenomenal. It's so close. Alright, here it is. Here it is. Are you ready for the truth? Are you ready for the truth? I love Five Guys, don't get me wrong. Here's why Sonic beats it, though. Sonic's cheeseburgers are also really good. Their Supersonic Double Cheeseburger, which is what they exactly call it, is really good. Is it a better burger than Five Guys? Not quite. It's right there in its shadow. But here's where the twist comes in. Sonic has the most delicious soft drink I have ever had. It is called an ocean water. That's essentially a coconut flavored Sprite. It's also a blue beverage, so I'm a little biased. It is absolutely a delicious soft drink. One of the most delicious soda flavors I've ever had. They call it an ocean water. It's supposed to be a coconut flavored Sprite. I always order an ocean water. The Route 44 size, the biggest size. I always order an ocean water whenever I get their burgers, and boy, that soda is delicious. I know not everyone's a fan of coconut flavoring, so I can imagine not being everyone's cup of tea, but when that soda flavor hits someone who likes it, oh boy, that soda flavor hits. I know I'm complimenting them more for the soda flavor than the actual like burger and food. Their food's fine. I've had their jumbo hot dogs. It's pretty good. I've had their corn dogs. It's pretty good. I've had their jalapeno bites. They're also again really really good. Again, when it comes down to actual burger, Five Guys slightly edges out Sonic, but you can only get normal soda at Five Guys. Sonic edges it out with the delicious and unique flavor of ocean water. I drink ocean water, and I like it. Here's a short entry on the tier list. On the Border. On the Border is pretty damn good. They're big. When me and my homies would go to On the Border, we would order the Big Borderito, which is their signature grandiose burrito. It's pretty damn good. They also offer free chips and salsa, like the real authentic made shit, not like cheap shit. They offer authentically made tortilla chips and authentic Mexican salsa on the side for free. On the Border, honestly, On the Border is hella good. I would honestly rate them. I would honestly rate them just a little below DQ. Ahead of like Buffalo Wild Wings and other restaurants. Yeah, On the Border is hella good. If you're in the mood for a good ass like really like good restaurant burrito that isn't like super fast, because you have to sit down On the Border. Chipotle is fast, you can take it out. But even then, On the Border is really good. Olive Garden is somewhere around here. I'm just deciding where. Olive Garden is underwhelming. Their salads are okay. Their pasta is very saucy, but you can tell they're trying to hide their cheap pasta with over flavored sauce. Olive Garden is a clusterfuck. Let's put it that way. Of an Italian restaurant. They'll be right here. Yeah, they'll be right here. Olive Garden is mostly good for the breadsticks. Their breadsticks are good, but boy, can they not make Caesar salads or actual high-quality pasta to save their life. Oh boy. That's true, they do have endless pasta deals though. You can get a huge meal for a good price though. But if I wanted to do that, there are other places I can do that aren't even a sit-down restaurant. Cheesecake Factory. Cheesecake Factory is interesting. I do have a lot of history eating at Cheesecake Factory. They are expensive, but they are good also. Yeah, I'm fine with putting them here. Cheesecake Factory is pricey, but the meals I've had there are good. I've had nachos there, they're good. They have this appetizer called Buffalo Blast, which is breaded sauteed buffalo chicken as an appetizer. It's really good. Buffalo Blast is absolutely delicious. Their burgers are really good too, and their cucumber iced tea is also really. Their lavender cucumber iced tea is also really good. They're pricey, but I mean, you have the interesting decorum and food of Cheesecake Factory. It hits. When it hits. They are good. Oh yeah! Oh my god, how could I forget? You're right. No, you're so right. The mac and cheese burger. I forgot about the mac and cheese burger. You're right. That thing is absolutely delicious. How did I forget about the mac and cheese burger? To be fair, it's been like 5 years since I had cheese. No, it's been like 4 years since I had Cheesecake Factory. You're so right. The mac and cheese burger is good. You're right. Oh man. Oh, I might. Oh. You're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was undercapping. You're right. Cheesecake Factory can actually go right up here. The mac, you're right. Whoa. I'm disappointed in myself for forgetting about the mac and cheeseburger. It can go right there. These are going to be the hardest because these are going to be point of contentions here. Well, you know what? Let me start off with something I guess easy. I don't know why I'm beating around the bush here. Krispy Kreme. I don't know why I'm keeping this in like. Krispy Kreme is delicious. They just do donuts, right? They don't do like burgers or anything. Because the Krispy Kreme on 34th Street we get is absolutely delicious. Their signature Krispy Kreme filled donut, the signature cream filled one, is absolutely delicious. It's one of the best donuts I've ever eaten. Probably the best donut I've ever eaten. I remember getting 6 of them on the way to go to Long Island Retro back in 2019. Good times. But anyway, yeah, I don't know why I was holding off. Yeah, Krispy Kreme is S tier. Because I was thinking about it has to compete with Dunkin Donuts, and Dunkin Donuts for me is probably somewhere in A. You know, Dunkin Donuts can get bottom of A. The cake batter donut is God tier. They're again, I think they're normal. The regular Krispy Kreme signature cream flavored is also really good. To be honest, they live up exactly to their name, Krispy Kreme. When you bite into their Krispy Kreme donut, I like the little, like, I like the grittiness of the cream. You can, like, feel the crispiness in the cream. I know I'm stacking those words on top of each other, but they live up to their exact name. God, what I wouldn't give to have the signature Krispy Kreme donut again, one more time. It's been forever. There's no easy Krispy Kreme over here in New Jersey that's, like, easy to get to. Damn. One day I'll be back, and I'll order 6 signature Krispy Kreme donuts. But yeah, Dunkin Donuts. Dunkin Donuts, unfortunately, loses out the DBZ fight to Krispy Kreme. But Dunkin Donuts is a lot more easier for me to get to. Dunkin Donuts is fucking everywhere. I ate a lot of Dunkin Donuts when they had the Dunkin Chino. It's a meme at this point, dude, the fucking goddamn Adam Sandler Jack and Jill movie. But the Dunkin Chino is honestly a good-ass fucking beverage. It was fucking great. Their hot cocoa mixed with coffee was honestly a genius idea. Their donuts are no slouch themselves. I do hanker for their donuts. They're good. They're good. They can get bottom of A. I don't really go for Dunkin'. I never really had. I think I had like an egg sandwich from Dunkin' Donuts once, and it was like okay. So I think their non-donut things are okay at best. But yeah, their donuts are delicious. I mean, it's fucking Dunkin' Donuts. Am I right? Chili's is hella good. Chili's can get top of A tier. Chili's is really fucking good. Their bacon ranch quesadillas are one of my favorite entrees to have from them. Every time I go to Chili's, I always get the bacon ranch quesadillas, along with some sort of appetizer, usually the nachos. But their bacon ranch quesadilla is absolutely a godsend. Their watermelon iced tea, shoutouts to their watermelon iced tea also. Their watermelon iced tea is also very delicious and very unique. I can't really say I've had watermelon iced tea somewhere else before in one of these eating establishments. I miss their bacon ranch quesadillas. If you ever go to Chili's, take a word from me. If you ever go to Chili's, again, get the bacon ranch quesadillas. I promise you won't be disappointed. I promise you. All right, we're in the end game now. KFC. I should have rated this a lot earlier since I rated Popeye's first thing. KFC, unfortunately, can't hold a candle to Popeyes, but KFC is still fine in my opinion. They're still good. They're still fine. They can get bottom of A. KFC is fine. I'm not gonna come on here and say KFC is bad, but boy, does Popeyes blow them out of the water. Well, you know what's even worse? Like I said, even on the Jersey side of things, Popeyes is closer to me than KFC, so the KFC can't even beat them in convenience, at least in my living location. Popeyes literally beats them on all front. But again, I'm not going to come on here and say KFC's bad. KFC's fine. KFC's good. Mike and I get it a lot whenever we go over to his house, because that's the walking distance place. That's fine. It's fine. So yeah, KFC. KFC, you can enjoy your bottom of A. Your KFC bowl is also pretty damn good, but boy, does Popeyes beat the pants off you when it comes to fried chicken and fries. Oh. So, we have a big point of contention here. Fucking Chick-Fil-A. I'm gonna separate the food from the establishment for this one. I know there's a lot bad to be said about Chick-Fil-A. Their continuous donations to anti-rights groups at this point, they might as well be called. It sucks, it really does. It really does suck how flagrantly anti-human they are. But, and this comes with a big but, I'll separate the food from them too. Just like I did Papa John's, because, you know, big old Papa himself said the N-word. Hard. I'll separate the food from them too. Last time I had Chick-Fil-A, a friend, I told CTK this too. Last time I had Chick-Fil-A, a friend bought it for me, so I didn't spend my own money. And I didn't have to pay back the friend either. He just bought it for me because he was feeling this. Chick-fil-A, it feels so empty and weird. Trust me, it does. Trust me, this feels very empty and weird. A Chick-fil-A separating the food from the anti-human goddamn establishment. They get middle of B. Their Polynesian sauce and their spicy chicken sandwich was the last thing I had, which my friend bought me. It's pretty good. I remember the pricing for their place. That the pricing is actually pretty expensive. You don't get a lot of food for you don't get a lot of bang for your buck. That's why they're not any higher. Their Polynesian sauce is good. It's good. And their spicy chicken sandwich that goes with it is also really good. Their waffle fries are also pretty good. But again, they're very expensive. And they don't use the money for good things. You know what's funny? I'm not really putting anything in garbage, am I? I guess Panera Bread is just the lowest thing on this tier list. I promise you these are not worse than Panera Bread. We have some big names here. Subway. Good old Subway. Subway can be very up and down. Their meatball marinara is really good. Their other sandwiches, like the normal turkey and ham, don't do it for me. Their meatball marinara is really fucking good. Their pricing is okay. You don't get the absolute best bang for your buck. I can get better bang for your buck at BK. It just depends if I'm really feeling a meatball sub. Overall, Subway can be top of B tier. Again, when I'm in the mood for the meatball marinara sub, it's really fucking good. Their other sandwiches don't really do it for me. I always get Italian urban cheese, meatball marinara with pepper jack cheese. It's good. It's fucking good. And their $5 footlong is actually like $6 because they fucking scam you out of $1. Again, not the best. I can get way better bang for your buck at like BK and shit. And even Sonic. I forgot to mention Sonic has half-price Tuesdays also. But yeah, Subway can get top of B. Oh, their steak and cheese isn't half bad either. You're right. I've had their steak and cheese a couple of times. You're right. Alright, since we're talking about it now, let's rate McDonald's. Boy, there's a lot to say about McDonald's. This was the de facto fast food place we would eat at Switch and Play near The Rock. I'm not putting in B. Their McDouble is legitimately good. The only thing that they lack is good coupon deals. I kind of wish they had better coupon deals. Because, again, you get a lot more bang for your buck at BK. So, we're finally coming down to rating the big three, essentially. Wendy's, McDonald's, and I already rated BK a lot earlier. Oh boy, this is big. There's a big combination of food quality, convenience for me. Like, for example, Wendy's is not convenient for me. McDonald's and BK are a lot closer to me than the nearest Wendy's. The nearest Wendy's to me is on a highway facing away from me. So I have to go down the highway, make a U-turn, and come back towards my house if I want Wendy's. Wendy's is not convenient for me. But people say they have the highest quality food. And their square sheet burgers I have eaten a few good amount of times. are, but Wendy's is also the most expensive out of the three. I remember getting like bacon cheese fries and like a burger and shit and a soda, and it came out to like 12 something. I'm like, really? $12? I can get nearly 2 full BK ass meals for that. I usually get a bunch of McDouble. I usually get like 5 McDoubles for a meal from McDonald's. That's what I usually like to do. You guys know that. You've seen me order from McDonald's. The last time I actually had a dead-ass Big Mac from McDonald's, it was dry and underwhelming. So I actually don't agree fully with that sentence. I think the last time I had a Big Mac, it was actually I was incredibly flaccid. The McDoubles are delicious, but the Big Mac I had was dry and flaccid. And now that you really got me going on that, this is so rough. I knew this was going to be like the final boss of the Geos. Red Robin is just waiting to be chosen. This is so rough. All right, I'm going to do it. McDonald's gets high B for me. Again, my mind goes back to the flaccid Big Mac I had I just had it like a couple months ago. It was just a couple months ago I had it. It was so bad. There was an overabundance of lettuce. The Big Mac sauce the Big Mac sauce didn't hit hard. The burger was dry. The bun was dry. I know that was just one Big Mac experience, but man, they fucked up that Big Mac. I've never had a burger that fucked up from BK before. I don't know what McDonald's employee made that Big Mac, but man, that Big Mac couldn't miss any harder. Again, I know I'm traumatized from one Big Mac event 2 months ago, but I'm telling you, it was the most flaccid Big Mac I've ever had in my life. Burger King may have its ups and downs, but it was never that down. So, due to that traumatic event of a flaccid Big Mac, I gotta put McDonald's down in the B tier. BK has never fucked up that Whopper that bad. That McDonald's fucked up that Big Mac. They put themselves on the path of destiny with that fuck up. Alright, McDonald's, you go there. So there it is. You saw it here in 4K. I think Burger King is better than McDonald's. Wendy's is the big thing, because you're all expecting me to put it above these two, right? Because Wendy's is supposed to be the GOAT out of the three, right? With their square juicy burgers and their shit and all that. But let me tell you, years and years of having them be on the opposite goddamn side of the highway from me, away from my house, and the fact that usually when I order from them, it leads up to being $12 fucking dollars, and they have no good coupons like BK. Their food, sure, it's great. Their convenience and pricing doesn't make me want to like them a lot. They're going under BK. I'm just figuring out where. This is another 4K moment, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, they can go right here. They're actually gonna go right under BK. I know. Here we go. It's another 4K moment. Here we go. So you learn the truth. You learn the truth of what goes on in my mind. I think BK is the best out of the three giants. Red Robin. So Red Robin. So I heard you guys in chat. You guys never had Red Robin before? Red Robin is delicious. Red Robin makes great fucking burgers, and they do have bottomless fries as they advertise. You know what's even better? Where'd it go? Oh, there. Oh, I didn't mean to put it in B tier. My bad. Oh, I can't. Okay, never mind. It's not here. Anyway, Red Robin. They have their spicy burger is called the Burning Love Burger. It's delicious. They have bottomless fries, and they have this delicious seasoning that they have at the table. This is called the Red Robin Signature Seasoning. You can put on the burger as much as you want because it's there at the table, and you can put it on as much as you want on the fries. It's absolutely delicious. On top of that, they have delicious strawberry lemonade that comes in a cyclone-shaped glass. The atmosphere. And the atmosphere there is absolutely phenomenal. And the decorum there and the eatery there is absolutely great. Especially the cyclone-shaped glass. The cyclone-shaped glass really brings home together the whole meal when you have the strawberry lemonade. Red Robin doesn't go here. It goes... Honestly, yeah. Red Robin goes top of A. Red Robin earns top of A. One day, this isn't a permanent tier list. Tier lists are never super permanent. You may reevaluate your opinion on one of these one day. But until then, YouTube, you take it easy. And... God, I yearn for some Popeyes.
Come on, if there are make a wish, take your time and decide what's right. Get to